Hello and welcome. I'm Psychic Medium Roberto, and I truly hope you're doing well today. In today's case of Profile by Numbers, I'm going to be looking at the Portland murders, where 6 women have been discovered murdered in the general area of Portland. There is one constant in this case, as it stands at the moment for me, and that is the 6 discovery days. So because we have that constant, I'm going to be looking at the discovery days. All right, so let me take a moment to focus and tune in. The 6 victims, Joanna, Bridget, and unfortunately we have an unidentified woman as well, who was found on the same time as Charity Perry. And we have Ashley Reel as well as Kristen Smith, aka Reedus, as a last name. Now, as mentioned, the constant that I have is the discovery day. And what I'm going to do is, based on the discovery day, develop my analysis on what is going on this case. So my preliminary search and looking at the sequence of numbers leading up to the discovery have created a pattern, I believe. The first group of women I'm going to be looking at is the unidentified woman, as well as Charity and Bridget. I believe these 3 have the same killers. Now, if we go to the next slide, Kristen, Joanna, and Ashley, I believe these 3 are connected. Now, the first group I've marked with an orange dot. And let's look at their discovery days. So the 2 women, the unidentified woman and Charity, were discovered on the same day, which was April 24, 2023. And we have Bridget Webster, who was discovered on April 30, 2023. Now, if I bring these 3 dates together, we see the mass of similar numbers. So we see on the April the 25th, on the top 2, that we have those 3 7s that I've circled, and we see the day that Bridget was discovered, the presence of those 3 7s as well. Now, if we look on the day and similar numbers, we have the 28 10 1 7 for the 2 top women, and that is present 2 days before Bridget is discovered. So based on my analysis, I believe these 3 are grouped together. Now, what concerns me here, and so I'm looking at this globally, and I can say with all 3 women, there's definitely an organization or group involved in the abduction and murders of these women. Mass of people involved, mass of transportation. There's a lot of transportation issues. What's also still flagging me is the presence and a lot of 7s. Now, 7s can obviously, injustice or justice, but it also brings around the idea of law enforcement, okay, which concerns me. So the top 2, we see the presence of the 33. Bridget also has the 33. So this is telling me there's definitely a grouping of people involved here. I wouldn't say it's one individual at all, and I believe this has to do with human trafficking involved here. Now, while I was calling out these dates, I had a number of clues. So for the unidentified woman, I picked up a navy blue truck, a large truck. So that would be like, so when I say truck in South Africa, in the US, I would say the truck is of a long haul nature. It's a larger rig type vehicle. And with the unidentified woman, I got an imprint of a large size boot, tan color, from a large male. And that male has brown to dark hair and also has a beard. That's the image I picked up when meditating on the unidentified woman. And when I got to Charity, I picked up a very strong body odor, a tobacco smell. It's more like chewing tobacco type thing, and also slightly overweight, plump person, male. And while I was looking at Charity, the smell is what I got from her, but psychically I picked up I could hear the sound of a long haul rig, like there's trucks around. We call them trucks, long haul trucks. I also picked up an image of a truck diner. And notable signage outside this truck stop diner is a very large fluorescent sign with red text on the writing advertising the place. When I got to Bridget, we picked up a sliding door. Now, this is slightly anomalous in that the sound that I heard from Bridget was a sliding door of like a van, possible also dark color. Now, I would say that the people that got hold of Bridget are part of the bigger organization from the top two, but are not necessarily involved with I believe, the murders of the unidentified woman and Charity, but a part of the group. So now I'm going to go back to the original slide where all the 6 women were discovered. So for these 3, I've used the orange dots. So we can see there is some kind of pattern with these 3, okay? Now keep that in mind. I will show you a combined slide at the end. So if we go, I've put these 3 together, Kristen, Joanna, and Ashley. I've marked them off with a green dot. And what's very interesting on the days that they discovered, these guys are almost identical. That we see the 12, 3, 7, 19, 10, 1 on each of the days that they were discovered. And in fact, the outcomes leading up and after are very almost identical, which tells me that these 3 are connected. I believe Kristen, while I was pulling out Kristen's details, I received the image of a police badge. Now with this grouping, if we look at it holistically, there's definitely organization involved, but not as much as the, let's call them the orange group, okay? Now what bothers me about these guys is that we see the 19-10-1. Now that is about a team or group with a 9 murderers, but what really concerns me is the presence of the 7s again. And I definitely believe with these 3, we get an image of the badge as mentioned. So there's definitely, I believe there's police involvement with these 3, right? Including involved with organized crime syndicate, okay? And the clues that I picked up with Joanna while looking and meditating on her was a male, 35 to 40 years old, fair blonde complexion, medium to thin build with an emphasis on more of a thin build. Okay. And while meditating on Ashley, I received an image of a police officer in predominantly brown uniform, noticeable dark brown colors on the uniform, pulled over the vehicle that Ashley was in or the murderers were in or involved with this case. So there's definitely, I'm getting a sense definitely on both cases though that there are police involved, and not so much as operationally or investigating. There's definitely police involved with these syndicates, unfortunately. Now if we look at the map with the 3 green dots, we can notice there's a similar pattern with the green dots, right? Now, if we have the combined slide with the green dots and the orange dots, this is what I'm getting, is a pattern. So we see that Joanna, Kristen, and Ashley are related, I believe. And Charity, the unidentified woman, and Bridget are related. So there's definitely 2 different operations going on here. But I would say, and I'm getting pinged again, that similar operations in that we're talking about human trafficking, we're talking about gangs involved here, and I definitely believe there are police involved with these syndicates as well. So I'm getting a sense that this will be the first reading of maybe a second reading. But for now, I'm definitely seeing a pattern with the green dots and a pattern with the orange dots. This will be a preliminary reading, and we'll keep monitoring this case. And I did get pinged that unfortunately I do believe there are others that are still to be discovered as well. There are definitely others to be discovered as well. And let's hope the good authorities on this case get to the bottom of this as soon as possible. All right, let me know what your thoughts are. I do read your comments. If you have not subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like icon. And I will say I'll see you in the next one. Stay safe and stay alert.